that you have witnessed, people who came to your meetings.
Hey, you just brought one back.
All right.
Martin Luther King.
Uh-huh.
Martin and I, we've got a lot of stories. But I was put in the General Conference the very year that Martin King became pastor at Dexter. In fact, I was planning to play hooky for that General Conference, but V.G. Anderson knows me. It was then that now my tent was already in town. I was going to wait till all those people got out there and put my tent up and started working on Martin Luther King and his people there, Abernathy and all them. I baptized 213 of Abernathy's folks and 27 of King's school teachers and all that. But there's a little story hanging around in there that I want to tell you all. But it's first GC. That is what I tried to tell you. Man, when I got back to Montgomery, stuck my tent up, 517 baptisms. King just moved to town, and he and Abernathy had gone on vacation. He got a hurry-up call to get back to town. They said there's a sheep stealer in town, and all your members said he wasn't lying either. Rosa Parks.
The Rosa Parks.
Rosa paid a visit to Oakwood College's campus after all this was over, and said to Dr. Danny Blanchard, said, "Where's Dr. Cleveland? I understand he's on this campus." He said, "But he's not here now." Oh, I'd hoped that I would see. Those people sat there, man, like going to school. So one night, when I had given my benediction, I noticed a little huddle of preachers over on the sideline there in debate. Now, being a man of peace, I went over to join them. And it's Dr. King, just taking over Dexter, but Abernathy, older, and with the First Baptist Church. When I joined the circle, Richard Brown, and Dudley were in debate with them. So when I got up, everybody stopped talking. So Dudley says, "Dr. King, this is Elder Cleveland." King looked me up and down. He says, "I'm disappointed in you," with that musical voice. This was our first meeting. We met many times later. And I was in the Poor People's March and a few other marches with him, by the way. But this was our first meeting. And he says, "I'm disappointed in you. I come to hear that there's a black Billy Graham in town. And what do I hear? The law, the law." I said, "Doctor, you must come late, because I always start my meetings with the Lord, the Lord, the Lord." I gave him three of them right back, see. Now, about this time, the habituates of the Tijuana nightclub on the corner, the opposite corner, they heard somebody was disturbing their reverend, on the church they had was, and they're drinking that beer, and then they come and hang on the ropes, "Let them have it, Rev," it was a wonderful time, They heard somebody's out there fooling with me. They didn't know it was King and Abernathy, the two biggest churches, pastors in town. They came out there, and when they saw the distinguished company, they put a circle around us to hear the debate. And this is how the debate went. King said, "I'm disappointed in you. I hear the black Billy Graham in town. And I come over to hear you, and what do I hear? The law, the law, the law." I said, "Dr. King, you must have come late. I always start with the Lord, the Lord, the Lord. But since you brought it up, don't you teach the 10 Commandments to your people?" This is word for word, mister. Christ is the norm. Christ is the norm. I said, correct. What he taught or what he lived, or both? Both, he said. I said, thank you, doctor. Think not that I'm come to destroy the law or the prophets.
All right.
I've come not to destroy, but to establish. When I got into that, one of the inebriates, meaning one of the drunkards, one of the inebriates got between King and I, put his finger under that soon-to-be famous nose, and standing there swaying. That old boy preached better than I did. He said, Dr. King, I wouldn't want you to visit my home if I'm not there, if you don't believe in the Ten Commandments. And when that drunk dropped that one, Brown snuck out that way, I snuck out the other way. And the next time King and I met, we went to Poor People's March, all Washington together. But now, but these are just a few of the occasions. But I got to tell you this. Did I tell you about